Welcome back, all you Yakkers. I'm your host, Molly Trowbridge, and this is UMass Yak Back. So today we're going to be talking about some very interesting topics. First, we have campus crime, and then we have the Emmy Awards, and lastly, we'll be finishing up with the Mad Pooper. So stick around, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to UMass Yak Back. What is that I smell? Is it the ganj or is it the pigs? So today we have Hannah, Sharon, and Hannah on our panel, and we're going to be talking about a few different topics, whether it's campus police or a recent marijuana study that will be conducted at UMass. So who can tell us and fill us in on this thing happening?
I will fill us all in.
Excellent.
So basically, Massachusetts Health Department has given UMass Health Department a grant for around $275,000 to research basically the effects of addiction around marijuana, because in July the state will be opening up places where you can buy marijuana. So they kind of want to figure out how that's going to affect the drug driving.
Yes. So with these dispensaries, other Hannah, do you think that marijuana has an effect on driving? What are your thoughts?
I mean, definitely. Like, it's not safe to drive high. But I know, like, there's a lot of, it's hard for police to, like, tell, because it's, like, you can do it with behavioral, how someone's acting. But, like, that's also, some people just had it really well, or you can have eye drops, so, like, that gets tricky. And I don't really know much about, they developed a new test, like a way back, about if they can, like, tell that you're high or something, but, like, I don't know much about it. So, but I don't think it's, like, legal. I don't think anyone's using it.
Yeah, because obviously here at Yak Back, we don't know from experience of doing this. We can just guess and surmise, obviously. So Sharon, what are your thoughts on this whole study, and do you think it will be effective?
I think it will be effective. Like this, I think doing this, what is it, experiment?
So to speak, it's just a grant for kind of research that they'll bring to the legislative branch in 2018.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I think this research would be good. So it's just like an extra measure, so, just in case, no students like harm themselves, and like, personally, I think it depends on the students and how much amount they take, and I think it's kind of like drinking. Drink responsibly, use marijuana responsibly, kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's interesting. Do any of you think that there'll be some interesting findings on, like, the interaction of alcohol and marijuana, or do you think that if you're doing one, the other doesn't really affect, or there's no intersection there? Any thoughts?
I think it depends on how much of each you're taking.
Yeah.
Because I'd be interested to know how they're measuring, like, getting high. Like, there's different amounts that you can smoke, but, like, how much, what type of effect, like, it's really hard because it's different for everyone too.
Yeah, and the potency too.
Yeah, and it's, like, really weird. Like, a lot of people, like, it affects them differently. Like, some people get really paranoid, some people get really relaxed. Like, why is it the same amount can affect people differently?
Interesting. So, transitioning a little bit, we're on the same kind of vein: crime, drugs, sex, rock and roll, whatever. So, have any of you been to the townhouses for a day drink?
Not recently, but
I have not.
But in the past?
But I hear it's terrible.
But you hear it's terrible. Interesting
They
thoughts.
throw rocks up and,
Really?
like, beer cans, I hear.
It gets a little dangerous, but also exhilarating. It just kind of depends on your opinion of the topic. So in the past year, in my 2 previous years here, we've had the townhouses, we have day drinks and stuff where there's a lot of age and underage drinking that happens. And within the past year, one of the townhouse quads got gated off by the owners in collaboration with the police, I believe. And then we came back from this summer away, and now all the townhouse quads are kind of squared off. And I'm just curious your thoughts on the matter, if you feel like it's valid, or what do you think?
I think it's a pretty good idea because, like, I'm pretty sure the people who are living on townhouses don't want to clean up after other people's messes. Also don't want to be like disturbed or like have rocks thrown out their window and there's like beer cans just left everywhere like on their yard.
That's fair. Do you feel like if you sign up to live, I'm trying to lead here, but if you sign up to live at the townhouses knowing the reputation, is that something that comes with the territory, or do you have a right to want it to be quiet or controlled?
Well, actually, if you lived in a townhouse and you knew that was gonna happen, then like like that's what you signed up for.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess like once you start living there for a while and you get sick of it, then maybe you actually appreciate like that this was set up.
That's understandable.
I think people like rent houses there with intentions of partying, and they know the environment, and I think it comes with the territory. And I bet a bunch of people that live there are probably not very happy about these new gates.
Yeah.
Because it limits their good time.
That's what I was thinking too, only in the sense where these people did sign up to live there before the gates were put in, and now they're in. Do they have a right to be mad?
Well, like, was these gates, like, did they know when they signed their lease for this coming year that these gates would be put in? Because that kind of gets sketchy.
All evidence points to no, because the first gates that were put up, I don't know about this summer, but I do recall reading that the first gates that were put up, I think during spring break, or in a time where the students really couldn't consent, and just kind of limits the party culture. I mean, it's all in good fun, but at the same time, there are chicken fights. I've seen people get thrown in the trenches at Hobart. But yeah, it's all good fun until it's not anymore, I suppose. What do you think?
I think it's pretty funny that UMass is trying to like put up a gate, because like someone's gonna knock it down. Like it's not gonna be there forever. Like they really thought they could like change it. I don't know. I think but it also goes to show like UMass is trying, like over the past like couple decades, they've been trying to change the culture here. Like I watched a couple of videos with my friends last year, and like when like different sports teams would win, like it was crazy. Like Southwest looked insane. Like literally there was like so many videos of people just jumping off of Burke and like screaming, and like Hobart looked crazy. Like it was just looked like so much more fun.
Yeah.
But like they've toned it down because it's like also like the demographic here has changed. Like people have like with more money are coming, so it's changing. And then like Eisenberg and like it's like less diverse now than it used to be. So like a lot of factors are going into like UMass trying to make it more academic and like less of a party culture. But I think like, I don't know, the townhouses gate kind of speaks to that.
Yeah, and I would agree. And thank you for your thoughts on that. Because if you didn't climb the pole after the Super Bowl last year, what were you doing? So stick around. We'll be right back on our next segment. Welcome back. So, Yak Back, we may not have an Emmy, but we do in spirit. And here to talk about the Emmys, we have Kate, Sarah, and Dylan. So let's just jump right in. Anybody have any like first impressions, initial thoughts on the Emmys?
I did appreciate that San Junipero won 2 Emmys? 3? 2? That was good. It deserved it. Like,
What show did she win for?
San Junipero is the episode Black Mirror, that one.
Oh.
And it is just, I don't know, like, Black Mirror is okay. Like, I like some of it. Some of it's a bit too, I don't know, like, weird and out there and depressing, but also, like, aggressively so. But then, like, San Junipero was just, like, so different from the normal Black Mirror.
Like, kind of the normal formula that they usually
Yeah,
do. Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know, it was good, and I think it really deserved the best TV movie. I think won for Best TV Movie.
I think sorry to interrupt you, but I've only seen a couple episodes of Black Mirror, and the one that I did see was the Christmas one with John Hamm, because like God bless John Hamm and everything he does, but that one really shook me, and I've had that one recommended to me so many times because it's like really a big one that people talk about.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on the Emmys?
I really liked how SNL won for Best Variety Skits, and then I think Alec Baldwin won, and so Kate McKinnon won. I think she won. Did she win last year too?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, and I mean they're awesome. It's great.
It's really interesting to see how like SNL has transformed over the years, because I know there are a lot of like varying opinions on whether when people watch the show when Adam Sandler was on it in that cast as opposed to like the 70s cast, people have very strong opinions about how the show kind of holds itself. But I think like they obviously have been given a lot of their material with the election, because you don't really need to satirize satire. But I do think they've done a fantastic job with what they've been given.
And I mean, there is some like great comedy coming out of it. Like it seems kind of obvious to give SNL like all the comedy awards, but I think like Kate McKinnon especially for sure like really deserved it.
What's his name? Who's been on there for like ever? Bobby Moynihan.
Yes.
Did he finally left? He finally left.
He
right?
finally got a TV show of his own, which is really admirable. Hope it goes well.
Yeah.
But on that political vein, there was a cameo by Sean Spicer, not Melissa McCarthy, but the actual Sean Spicer. What are your thoughts on that and just kind of the politicizing of these award shows?
I think it should have been Melissa McCarthy as Sean Spicer. That's the only way that that's acceptable, is if it's Melissa McCarthy. I think it's just, especially during like this time, you shouldn't be bringing that out for like during a night that's supposed to be fairly happy and like celebrating entertainment. No one wants to see Sean Spicer rolling out on the stage.
I think they meant it maybe as like a fun, light thing, because it's like, oh, we made fun of him a bunch, and like he's here. Like, look at him. And it's kind of, it's a little, I guess it's too soon, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people were ready for that. And, like, that's, like, those are, I mean, I'm kind of, like, stereotyping, but, like, it's mostly extremely liberal people in Hollywood. Yeah. And, like, those are the people who despised him the most. And it's just, like, it's kind of not, like, a little, I don't know. I don't know whose idea it was, but not great.
Yeah, it's like, he hasn't... Like, the problem is, like, he hasn't, I guess, made it up to the American people for, you know, lying for Trump for months before he got fired. And, like, he didn't even have the, you know, guts to leave of his own accord. Like, he got replaced. And I think that's part of the issue. Like, he doesn't deserve to pretend like nothing happened.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting, too, because... when his appearance originally happened, I thought that a lot of the actors and actresses were very good sports about it, because I saw a lot of the reactions, and some of them were kind of pleasantly surprised, but then once the kind of excitement of the award show wore down, I know a lot of them the next day were like, wait a minute, that was like kind of wrong that happened, because whoever produces got him to sign on just for kind of vapid reasons, I guess, just to recover some of his image. But it was really interesting, especially to see like the cast of Veep and House of Cards and their reactions, because they're acting out these real like politics simulations on screen and getting awards for it, and they have the real thing right in front of them, especially with Melissa McCarthy. So it's funny to see kind of that interaction. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I also thought what was interesting, I'm sure Sarah will find interesting, is that Stranger Things received many nominations and no awards. What do you think?
I will praise Stranger Things until the day I die.
Yes.
And I think it's a tragedy that at least Millie Bobby Brown did not win.
I
love that girl.
Sorry, can I take a counterpoint to that?
Yes.
Like, I really enjoy Stranger Things, and I'm a huge fan. I'm really excited for season 2, which is dropping the end of October, right?
That's Halloween.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And I'm excited. But when I watched Stranger Things season 1, like way back in like July, right after it came out, it's fun because you can see everything it takes from, like all the different references, and it's just kind of like a mishmash of all those, and then it tells like a really cool story with some fun characters. But I don't think it like on its own, like I don't know what I'd pick it to like win for, you know? It's just like it's fun and I enjoy it, but like I don't know. I don't know if I'd pick it for an award. but I'm not a critic, so.
It's interesting that you say that because I did read a Daily Collegian article, surprisingly, talking about how a lot of these films and TV shows are kind of capitalizing on the idea of nostalgia. Yeah. So the fact that they're exploiting it, that they're remaking Star Wars, that they're doing all these things to kind of revive and remake things that were already pretty good as they were, or just drawing in these references, and they're kind of using it and exploiting it as a commodity. So I thought that was a really interesting point about Stranger Things and stuff.
Was that one of Nate Taskin's?
I think possibly. I can't remember.
Like something he would write.
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago, but it was a really interesting article. Any other like surprises or exciting things that you saw, or like people that won awards that you're happy about?
John Oliver won for the talk show, and he definitely deserved that one too. Like for the most part, I feel like the people that won like did deserve it. I was also just a little bit disappointed about Stranger Things coming home with nothing.
Yeah, of course. Any other thoughts?
Donald Glover won for Atlanta, right?
Yes.
Yes. That yet? Okay.
Yes. So that was really
yeah, I've seen like most of Atlanta. I haven't seen all of it. The episodes are pretty short, I think. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I thought it was awesome when it came out. And I was really excited that he's been trying to do that, I think, forever, his own show. So I'm glad he actually did it.
Yeah, Donald Glover is a very impressive person. And yeah, I'm glad to have your thoughts on that. And join us back for our next segment where we're going to talk about the Mad Pooper. What is that I smell? No, it's not the pigs. It's not the ganj. It's poo. So today we have Olivia, Sharon, and Siobhan. So this whole Mad Pooper situation, someone please fill us in.
There's a Mad Pooper on the run, literally. It's just an old lady, what appears to be, running. That's the normal part, but then she poops on a family's yard in revenge, what it seems like.
Why do you say revenge?
Well, I read that she brings her own toilet paper on the jog, so she is fully prepared to make it as an enjoyable experience for her, but not the house owners.
So, has she, Siobhan, or anyone else, really for that matter, anyone else, has she pooped other places?
Yes, she has. So she's pooped more than once on people's lawns. So people have seen her multiple times, but she's also going to like behind Walgreens and lots of different places where there's also bathrooms right across the street. So it's not like she was just had no other options. So it seems planned and it is a recurring event.
So she's a perpetual pooper.
Yeah, it kind of seems similar like to a dog just pooping in your yard. You know, when you're walking your dog and like the owner doesn't pick up the poop, it's like that's her. She doesn't pick up her own poop.
Except in this situation, the dog is looking at you dead in the eyes with intent. Yeah, like defecating on a carpet. So what do you think? Aside from quote spite, what do you think the motivation is behind this? Like, why, if she's done it more than one time, like what could her train of thought be?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I've got to say, being a runner, it's definitely important to make sure that when you go on your run, you're ready to go for the amount of time of the duration of the run.
Yes. So you don't shit your pants.
Yes, because, you know, they're marathon runners, it happens, you know? It's just, it happens. It's a natural disaster. But when it is done to the extent that this Mad Poopy does, is it seems to be possibly she's just a crazy lady and she found her target.
Her target.
I think it's just an addiction. Like, it's like at first maybe she like couldn't find a bathroom, she really wanted to go, and so she just did it in some family's yard. Then after that she's like, you know what, I like that, and so she just kept on doing it. Maybe she just gotta get a thrill out of it.
Could be.
That's what I had an incident this summer. I didn't go pooping on people's lawns, but I was also going for a run, and it like all of a sudden you're like, oh,
gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta go. So I was in Central Park going for a long run, and then I was like, oh my God, I gotta go. And then there was nowhere around. There was no bathrooms. I was like, what am I gonna do?
Right.
And then luckily I came across these porta potties, and I was like, lovely. But so then I go in, I do my thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm ready to go out, and then the door is like stuck, and I was like, what's going on? So then I start like banging against the door, and it's still locked. And then so I was able to like push the top part out a little bit, and I could see down that someone had come, and there was like a zip tie on it. So like the porta potty was locked, and it was actually terrifying. I didn't know what to do. I called my mom. She didn't answer. And then I was like, do I call the police? Like, it was a terrifying situation. And then finally I was just banging on the door, like, and then like I guess it was like runners heard, and then they're like, I could like hear them be like, oh, we gotta get a scissor, and then like so it was a disaster.
Wow,
So
the cross country allegiance came through.
Yeah, Mad Cooper, because
Wow, and I haven't come across a cross country runner that has not had this issue come about at some point in their running career. But what do you think about this whole quote smear campaign that has spurred as a result?
As in like the poop smear on their pants smear campaign?
No, I'm referring to the flyers that were put out by the resident. What do you think?
It seems to be just where America is at. It seems to be that that's the extent that is appropriate for the times. The time being, that's where we got to put our focus. It's definitely a danger. She's got to get the sit down talk. So they got to do what they got to do. I understand. I'm all for it. If I could put up flyers in Colorado Springs, I would.
Just flyers in general, or just pertaining to this mad pooper?
Flyers of all kind, but the mad pooper in bold.
Yes, in bold.
This actually happened to me during my high school. Yeah,
you had a mystery pooper.
Yeah,
at
we
school.
called him the crazy phantom shitter. Because the guy, he pooped legit everywhere. He, like the staircases that like nobody uses, and like the elevators, and like on the bathroom floor, and like nobody knew who he was for like a year, and like it revealed that it was like this kid I knew from elementary, like all the way from elementary school. So like him and his friends, like let's say go to the staircase. The friends will like surround him like a wall while he like takes a dump, and then they run away, and they get like shits and giggles. Literally.
Gigs for real. It's funny that you say that, because in high school there's a similar situation at another school in our area. I don't know what the human fascination with poop is, because it's hilarious. But it's funny that this is a recurring thing. People aren't conspiring together. That individuals are having this release and really just thriving off of it, like a drug addiction.
Maybe it's like a fetish that like we need to look into, but I didn't realize this was such a common issue.
Yeah.
I liked not knowing. I liked when it was
simpler times.
Well,
exactly.
Well, what a party pooper, really. That's it for our segment. We'll smell you later.